14-0 lead, only to see the Indianapolis Colts score their first touchdown in, what, 5.5 games to close it to 14-7. And, Joe, that was a momentum builder for the Colts, and the Jets really need this game to stay in playoff contention. They couldn't afford to lose to a winless team, and it did look like they lost their concentration the last stages of the half.
They certainly did with the penalties and all. I know you have to give credit to that Colt defense for getting stingy there, but the Jets hurt themselves the last couple of drives. Plus, Leahy's missed 2 field goals. George has come back, hit that long bomb, and we'll see this second half if that's going to change the complexion of this game and this Colt team.
I like these gloves, by the way. Those are
well, my fingers are numb, folks. I'm telling you, they're really numb. I know it's not that cold, but they're numb.
Let's take a look at our Coors halftime stats now. You see them through the mist falling here at Giant Stadium. We're told the weather will be the same throughout the afternoon. No better. And you see that the Jets once again controlling the rushing game of the Colts, but that one big play, 49 yards from Jeff George to Jesse Hester, bumped up the passing stats for the Colts a little bit.
And you know, with the Jets having that ball 21 minutes and 37 seconds, the Colts defense has to be doing something right. Sure, the Jets have 2 touchdowns, but they missed the 2 field goals, and the defense is keeping the Colt offense close. It's this Colt offense that's still a question, and Jeff George has got to start playing better than he's played this season. And I have a feeling that last touchdown pass is going to help him along the way.
Ready to start the second half. The Jets will kick off. Maybe we can get you a little tent like that one we saw in the stands if the gloves aren't enough for you. Aguilar squeezing the football to get it just right. And Verdun and Martin, the deep men for the Colts. And Aguilar gets the second half underway. A high kick taken by Verdun at the 12. A seam for Verdun. He bursts through it. Verdun down the sideline. Touchdown! 88 yards! There is a flag on the play. Flag down.
Yeah, but that's going to be against the Jets, Tom. They were offsides on that kick, and this touchdown is going to stand.
Offside. Number 25 on the kicking team. The penalty is declined. Touchdown.
Well, touchdowns coming in bunches for the Colts now. Verdun, 88 yards.
Boy, poor containment by the Jets on the right side of the screen right here. Houston gets blocked, and Aguilar comes into play and doesn't make the play this time. And then the rest of it is all Clarence Verdun's speed, holding onto that football like it's a loaf of bread, huh? Taking it on home.
He was a Pro Bowl returner last year and takes that one 88 yards. Biasucci ties it at 14. Clarence Verdun, in his 6th year out of southwestern Louisiana, sprints 88 yards to tie the game.
You know what's amazing? I'm listening to these boos. The boos are coming from the fans. My goodness, give the Jets a break. So they had a big play on them, but don't get down on your team just yet. Give credit to that man, Clarence Verdun, for a great run.
Well, the third quarter had been a barren one all season for the Indianapolis Colts, and they just got a big lift from a kickoff return to open the second half. Clarence Verdun sending shockwaves through the stadium. Is that the president calling with congratulations? Well, maybe not.
That's pretty good. Yeah, Clarence is awful happy now. Now we've got an even game starting all over, certainly with the momentum on the Colts side.
First kickoff return for a touchdown for the Colts since 1984. There's the man that did it, Clarence Verdun. Well, Coslett said the Colts were a dangerous team. He didn't want to give them any encouragement.
Hey, Tom, I can't get over the fact that these people are booing already. I mean, as soon as he ran back the touchdown, These guys, these fans have really jumped on the Jets.
Well, you're not sitting out there in the cold and rain, though.
Well, that's true. That's true.
That affects your attitude just a little bit. The ball blows off the tee. Biasucci will reset it. Whoop. Mathis and A.B. Brown, the deep men for the Jets. Biasucci's kick, a short one. It hits at the 25, and it's a loose ball there. Let's see who got it.
A.B. Brown did a heck of a job getting on that ball. Let's look at the offsides penalty on that kickoff return and then watch the kickoff. Up here on this side of the screen, you're going to see the Jets get across this line before the ball is punted, or kicked rather. Up at the top of the screen, they're going to just get over the 35-yard line just before, right there. You see that? Right up there at the top. They're offside.
R.J. Coors, the man called for the offside on the kickoff that Verdun returned for a touchdown. Tie game now as the Jets take over on their own 26. Play action pass. O'Brien wide open. The catch made on the knees by Al Toon. Went downstairs to grab that one, and Eugene Daniel gave him plenty of cushion. 16-yard gain on that first down pass. Here's how the special teams for the Jets had fared coming into the game. Their coverage was 4th in the NFL, only allowing 16 yards on the average, and the punt return coverage even better. Special teams coverage has been good for the Jets, although the returns haven't been quite as sparkling. So Verdun's return for a touchdown even more of a shocker in light of those good stats for the Jets coverage. Blair Thomas for 2 yards. Donnell Thompson, Chip Banks get the tackle. Rick Venturi, this has to be his happiest moment as a head NFL coach for now as he signals in the defense. He told us he didn't want to lose his defensive expertise, so he pays most attention to the defense, though philosophically at least he has control of all phases of the game in his duties as a head coach. And Bruce Coslin has to be a little disgruntled over on the sideline. His team led 14-0, now tied. Blair Thomas. Nice run by Thomas, who cuts up for a first down and stakes his way close to the 40-yard line before he's chased out by Michael Ball.
I tell you, Brad Baxter just did a fine job of maintaining his blocking. Watch this man right here get to the outside and stay with his blocking effort that's going to enable Blair Thomas to get to the outside. Now watch Baxter. You see number 30 maintaining his balance and at least kicking out to the outside. That opened up the hole for Blair Thomas to sneak through.
Baxter knocking John Baylor to the turf as he kicked out on him, enabling Blair Thomas to up that rushing total to 54 on the afternoon. Rob Moore has bruised his knee for the Jets and will not return, so that's a blow to the Jets' pass offense. O'Brien to the 20-yard line to 2. Eugene Daniel wrestles down Toon after a gain of 21.
Big first down play action fake to hold the linebackers. Then he'll throw behind the linebackers underneath the corner. There's Al Toon to the inside. That's the second time they've hit this play in this drive and on first down. Both times Eugene Daniel has been victimized by Al Toon.
Well, the Jets have been productive on the play action pass on first down all afternoon. 4th catch of the day for Al Toon. First down from the Colt 20. Baxter, gain of 2.
That ball may have come loose that time. I don't see any call on the field, but I saw Ken O'Brien go into that pile rather late to try and get it as John Hand is injured and limping off the field. Sam Clancy replaces Mr. Hand.
John Hand limping to the sideline.
Oh, there's some good collisions in there.
I didn't see the ball come loose, but they have.
It was all a blur.
This game does that to you sometimes. O'Brien, feeling the pressure, unloads it, and incomplete. Siragusa was coming in on him, and so was Donnell Thompson. Good pressure by the Colts defensive front.
Oh, yes, that's Siragusa. He gave the Jets some trouble up there in Indianapolis a couple of weeks ago. He plays an off the center cock position, and he gets back there and hits O'Brien just as he's releasing the ball. It's actually an incomplete pass. There's Siragusa right now. No receivers around there, and that's what the Colts were complaining about. But I believe it was the effort of Tony Siragusa here that caused that incomplete pass to go by there where there weren't any receivers.
Siragusa from Pitt. He was Bert Grossman's roommate at Pitt. Now plays for the Chargers. O'Brien's pass complete to the 10-yard line as Dale Dawkins, who is in because Rob Moore has injured his knee, makes the catch. It's close to the first down. Alan Grant made the tackle on Dawkins, and he got first down yardage.
Isolated on your screen right here is Dawkins, 89, simply breaking underneath the coverage. He had already beaten Alan Grant, who was laid off Dawkins a good ways, and Dawkins comes in as a substitute and contributes.
Ball spotted just inside the 10-yard line of the Colts. It'll be first and goal for New York. Game tied at 14. 10.5 left in the third quarter. The touchdown, but he'll be marked down at about the 1-foot line. Keith Taylor and Jeff Herrod were able to wrestle him back before he could break the plane to the goal line.
Well, that was smart anticipation by Costlett's offense. Watch Toon pull up as he breaks into the inside. Right here, you see that? He finds the dead spot. Both Toon and Ken O'Brien knew the defense would be in that position, and Toon simply found the dead spot to take it down to the 1-yard line. A good read by both Al Toon and Ken O'Brien.
Dave Cadigan in and a tight end now as the short yardage formation, second and goal, inside the 1.
Tell you, Tom, Costlett's got to be proud of his offense because they were challenged. The Colts got back in the game to tie it with that kickoff return. Now Brad Baxter takes it into the end zone on the left side of the screen, standing up. Excellent blocking by Jim Sweeney, the center of the Jets.
Second touchdown run of the day for Brad Baxter, and he's the short yardage specialist. Now Leahy for the extra point. Sends it through, and that ties Leahy with ex-Jet Jim Turner. 1,439 points. Number 3 all-time in the NFL. After being tied, the Jets regain the lead. Tom Hammond and Joe Namath from Giant Stadium. Pat Leahy, who just tied Jim Turner, 1,439 points, is kicking off. Usually Aguiar kicks off, and it's a short kick. Verdun, nothing doing this time. The Jets ready for Clarence Verdun, and the last time he touched the ball went 88 yards for the score. This time Bobby Houston was all over him.
Well, special teams coordinator Al Roberts used Leahy this time to place the kickoff in an area to allow his defense to get down there quickly. There's Al Roberts, the special team coordinator, who is demanding of his special teams. Plus, he's a solid coordinator with his philosophy, and this is his first year with the Jets, and the improvement has shown, with the exception of that kickoff return by Verdun.
Jeff George will handle the football now for the first time in the second half. Play action pass, pressure on George, who scrambles. Complete to the 45-yard line. Bob Morosco went to one knee, and there again, Jeff George on the scramble finds the open man. It went for 20 yards.
Oh, Bob Morosco makes a nice catch, but I like the way Jeff George keeps his cool back there. Gets out of the traffic and then delivers the strike to the big tight end from Penn State. Well, Morosco, better known for his blocking, just reaches out there and grabs that thing. Nice play. The Colts are inspired.
And we saw George scrambling to his right, getting the ball on target. First down at the 45 of Indianapolis. Clark picks his way forward for a nice run, nearly 10 yards as a late flag comes down. Clark to the 45-yard line, tackled there by Mo Lewis. It'll be against the Colts just when they had some momentum going on a good run by Ken Clark.
Holding, 62 offense. First down.
Venturi doesn't like it as Brian Baldinger, his center, is called for the hold.
Well, I don't blame Coach Venturi. That was a late call there, but Brian Baldinger, a Massapequa, Long Island native, number 62, gets called for the hold right in the center of your screen. And my goodness, I don't see him holding at all. I don't know how they could have called Baldinger for holding on that play, Tom.
Baldinger told us yesterday he takes it personally when the offensive line is blamed for the Colts' woes and tries to use it as a motivating force for the next game. Hester, the intended receiver, and Jeff George off target on that one. Gives us a chance to check our Hertz 10-minute ticker. Buffalo, after trailing, has gone ahead of Green Bay 21-10, and Washington also down 3-0 at one time, airing it out now against the Falcons. Dallas with a 3-point lead at Houston. New Orleans is on the scoreboard, and Cleveland pouring it on that tough Eagle defense, even though Kosar did finally have an interception after breaking the record. Tampa Bay up, and Cincinnati, they were at, what, 17-0 at one time, and now it's 17-13. Here, the Jets were tied 14-14 before regaining the lead. George with a quick pass complete to Brooks, and Brooks out of bounds at about the 43-yard line, bumped out by Hasty and Odegaard.
Nice play. That's the man George wants to get the ball to more often. Brooks, he's a fine receiver. George got back about half of the necessary yardage that time as Brooks made the reception. 6-year veteran out of Boston University is a fine player. Brooks I'm talking about, just hasn't been getting the ball tossed to him enough.
Yeah, he's been kind of the forgotten man after being the #1 receiver every year prior to last year when he was number 2. This year comes into this game as the number 4 Colt receiver. It's 3rd and 12. Again, George scrambles to his right. Brooks close to the 35-yard line. Again, Jeff George took a beating, but as he scrambles to his right, throws back across the field for 22 yards to Bill Brooks. Mike Brim hit Brooks, but it was a Colt first down.
Well, Brooks finds out it's a broken play, and he's going to come into view behind Hester here. And I'll tell you, this is all Jeff George's determination to make this play work. He scrambled out of the pocket, threw the ball across his body. Look at that hit Jeff George takes. You folks remember it wasn't long ago that George spent a long time on the ground in pain because he took a tough hit. This man is showing me some guts today.
And Brim had a pretty good shot on Brooks, and he held on to the football. Ken Clark, nothing. Joe Kelly led the defensive charge, and Hasty was there hastily as Ken Clark is stopped for a loss on the play. Ken Clark, who ranks 2nd all-time at the University of Nebraska in career rushing, trailing only Mike Rozier. He gained 3,037 yards with the Big Red of Nebraska. In fact, as a junior, he was 4th in the United States with nearly 1,500 yards on the ground. Born in Alabama and recruited by Auburn and Alabama, but passed them up because he liked the way Nebraska ran the football. George in a short reception. Bill Brooks immediately taken down by James Hasty. That'll only be good for about 2 or 3 yards.
Oh, Hasty made a fine play that time. He wouldn't allow Brooks to get any room to run. Hasty was back in a kind of a safety slot position that time and read the play and reacted quickly to keep this to a no-gainer. Now it's a 3rd down and 10 situation. Pretty tough deal for the Colts to get out of it, but hey, they're moving that ball, and Jeff George is passing. I know Pete Carroll, the defensive coordinator there, has to be concerned.
After a slow start, Jeff George is now 11 of 18 passing. Pressure from the corner. George has Hester. Hester to the 7-yard line, wrestled down by Mike Grimm, and Jeff George again goes to the turf, but he stood in the pocket. Pressure was coming from the outside. He stepped up and delivered to Hester for 28 yards.
We're seeing a breakthrough, Tom. This is the best I've seen this young man play this position. Look how he stood in there, didn't fall off it a lot, delivered it right on target. A great example for his teammates here. Hester, 84, breaks across the middle and gets the ball. I mean, it was delivered right there perfectly.
Hester with 4 catches, approaching 100 yards receiving. And now a timeout taken by the Jets. Jeff George has the Colts on the move. It's 21-14, New York. First and goal from the Jets 7, trailing 21-14. Verdad in motion. George again scrambles and throws it away. Fraze knocks him again on the seat of his pants. George wisely threw the ball away.
Good pressure by Paul Fraze on Jeff George that time. Jeff George had 4 wide receivers and 1 running back in the game, and you see number 91 come in here right now to hurry George. George smartly unloads the ball and intentionally threw it into the ground to avoid the loss that time. It was a heads-up play by the young quarterback.
Well, they haven't been here often, and they haven't done much when they have been here. But the Colts, you see, really their inability to run the football show up in this red zone area. George, touchdown, Hester. Jesse Hester.
Hey, George is throwing strikes. I mean, this is the best I've ever seen him play. Jeff George hanging in there, showing guts. And here, I mean, Hester just gets to the inside. He goes in motion, number 84, and then he's going to turn upfield and then just look inside for the ball. And George is going to deliver it perfectly. Look at this right now.
Jesse Hester with another touchdown catch, his 2nd of the afternoon. This is a team that hadn't scored a touchdown in 5 games. Biasucci to tie. He got it. We're tied at 21 with 4:32 left in the 3rd. 2 touchdown passes for the Colts today, and on the receiving end, both times, number 84, Jesse Hester. 5 receptions for 100 career yards, the 3rd in his career. 3rd time he's been over 100 yards receiving. That time the Colts drove 75 yards in 9 plays. There couldn't have been on the season very many 75-yard Colt drives for a touchdown. Biasucci kicking to either Brown or Mathis. It'll be Mathis from the 10. Mathis fumbles, and the Colts have it. Brian Lattimore recovers the Mathis fumble, and the Colts with a chance to take the lead.
Oh, Michael Ball, the defensive back for the Colts, set up Lattimore's recovery by laying a vicious hit on Mathis. Bruce Kostler wonders what else can go wrong. Watch number 31 jar this ball loose as he comes in to make a form tackle. Right now, boom, and Lattimore jumps up and recovers it. Eric Ball delivered that hit.
Boy, you just see this Colt team, the enthusiasm and the confidence begin to grow as they have a little success. From the 25 of the Jets, first down, Indianapolis. Game tied. Ken Clark fumbles it back. It looks like the Colts have it back. Tim Manoa down there scrambling for the football. Did he come up with it? They're saying second down, so it must be Indianapolis. And there's Manoah, number 44, just getting up off the turf. He was the man that saved the day for the Colts.
We'll see the ball fly out of Ken Clark's hands here, go upfield. Looky here, Mo Lewis gets hit in the shoulder pads with the ball. He couldn't have gotten it. Then Manoah smartly jumps on that pigskin. Watch number 44 come diving in there. There he is to get possession of the ball.
2nd and 4 for the Colts. Clark turns the corner and is knocked out of bounds at the 8-yard line. 1st and goal for the Colts as Kelly and Hasty converged on Ken Clark, but not until he had the first down and more.
I'll tell you what else. Tim Manoah just helped out again. You'll see number 44 leading the play and then throw the block on Jeff Loggeman that affords Ken Clark the corner to get outside and make this gainer.
In fact, Manoah had 2 blocks, one on Loggeman and one on Bird, who was pursuing, and it enabled Clark to get the first down. This looks like a different Colt team. And Pete Carroll tries to rally that Jet defense back up to their own 7. George, off the hands of Morosco and incomplete. Looked like the Jets might have jumped offside, but no flag down, no flag.
No, and Jeff George knows he had Morosco early, but something flashed across George's face, and he double clutched that time. Delivered the ball later than he would have liked, and then Eric McMillan delivers the big blow. Number 88 is open right here. George tries to get it to him, change his mind, and by the time he gets back, Eric McMillan has recovered to deliver the lick.
14 and 22, over 200 yards for George, including those 2 touchdowns. 2nd and goal from the 7. Hester. Or is it Brooks? It's Brooks. Brooks with a touchdown catch right in front of Mike Brim, and Brim had pretty good coverage. Jeff George drilled it, and Brooks was able to hang on.
Well, George liked what he saw the last down. He came back with the identical play and drilled it into Brooks on the left side of the screen. Oh, my, what a nice play. The ball is right on target once again as Brooks gets inside. Oh, Mike Brim just couldn't do anything about it. Look at these Colts go, Tom. This is a surprise, huh?
A shocker. 3 touchdown passes today by Jeff George. He only had 3 on the season before today. Biasucci adds the extra point. Jeff George having a fine afternoon and drills it into Bill Brooks. And the Indianapolis Colts bounce in front of the New York Jets. This entire season, the winless Indianapolis Colts have the lead in a game. They're in front 28-21. Jeff George has thrown 3 touchdown passes to equal his career high in a game. And all day yesterday, the Colt players and coaches we talked to said, we're not this bad. All we need is a little success, a little confidence, and it looks like a different team.
It looks like a different quarterback out there for sure. This is the best I've seen Jeff George play and the entire Colt team. I don't think the Jets are playing poorly, per se. I just think the Colts are coming up with a big play.
Biasucci's kick taken by Mathis, who fumbled the last one. He holds on this time as he's rocked to the turf. And a fight breaks out. A little frustration on behalf of the Jets, I'm sure, starting to creep into their play. Remember, New York had a 14-0 lead at one time.
I was going to say, a whole lot of enthusiasm shown by this Colt team. They haven't had a chance to feel this way in a long time. The defensive unit right now has the upper hand, and I think that they're playing the best, obviously, the best football the Colts have played all season long.
Only the 2nd time this entire season, this is game 10, that they have had the lead. Play action pass on 1st down again for O'Brien, and he hits the tight end Gressel for a gain of 9 or 10 yards. Jeff Harrod makes the tackle as we check our Hertz 10-minute ticker. Washington Redskins, after trailing early, trying to remain unbeaten. New Orleans, they trailed at one time. Cincinnati trying to hang on for their second consecutive win. They won their first of the season last week, and Indianapolis trying to win their first this week. Hector on the flea flicker, back to O'Brien for Mathis. He got it. Flag down. It will be interference against Chris Good, but it won't matter because Mathis maintained his concentration on the ball thrown short and was able to catch it.
I'll tell you, give Johnny Hector some credit here for getting that ball back. Hector really made it look like a run, and then Mathis was downfield, had beaten Chris Good. Watch Hector get up into that line. Now he gets that ball way back there, and O'Brien quickly unloads it downfield. There's the interference you see by number 37, Chris Good.
Well, the
defensive pass interference. Number 37, penalty is declined. Pass is complete. First down.
The flea flicker worked for a touchdown, didn't it? And the Jets' earlier win over Indianapolis, and there it nets 38 yards despite the interference.
This was a little different version of the flea flicker. Last time the Jets hit Moore crossing the middle. This time Mathis down the sideline.
Ken O'Brien's hit 18 of 25, 264 yards. Handoff to Hector. He's to the 25-yard line. Tackled there by John Hand inside 2 minutes of the third quarter.
Hey, John Hand's telling me something, too. Coslet likes his offense right now, getting in position again. But speaking of John Hand, the man left the game with a bad limp earlier in the second quarter. He's back in there fighting. He fought off the block that time of Jeff Criswell and fell back to the inside to close a huge hole. At least it looked like a huge hole at the time.
Second down and about 9 for the Jets with 1:20 left in the third, and the Colts on top. Baxter, good run by Brad Baxter. He's inside the 15 to the Colts 14-yard line. Michael Ball and Keith Taylor finally able to ride him to the turf.
Hey, these fans are getting their money's worth. I've heard the fans boo a little bit, but I'm just seeing some fine play on both of these teams. The Jets refuse to quit. They keep coming back offensively here as you see Baxter fighting forward, and I think the Colts are playing their best football, so the fans here that are going through this weather today, Tom, are getting their money's worth.
Baxter that time rambled for 11 yards. First down, Jets at the 14 of Indianapolis. Baxter, fumble. Penalty marker down as well. Jets signal they have it. The striped shirts have yet to indicate one way or the other. Looks like Jim Sweeney, the center, was able to fall on the football.
Well, you know that ball is going to be a little slick with the weather conditions the way they are. It's tough to hold on to. But I've seen some good hitting going on out there to cause these turnovers or apparent turnovers. The Jets recovered that ball, but they do have a penalty coming up against them.
Well, tripping on the offense. It will be first down, 10-yard penalty.
Yeah, but who was the guy? I want to know. I mean, we're calling tripping on the offense. Did 10 of the guys trip, or they usually give the number on the culprit? Let's check it in slow motion and see if you can find out at home which one of these green uniforms are tripping. I see one leg going up there. Number 66 looks like Cadigan getting his leg up there.
Well, Larry Cirillo and Peter Bleckner right on it to find it for us, and it was Cadigan that had the trip.
Boy, that was a picky call. I'll tell you, that was a bad call in my opinion. We see that kind of leg action all the time.
O'Brien has to scramble, gets away from two would-be tacklers, and sails it downfield, incomplete, intended for Dressel. There's another marker on the play.
Well, that was excellent coverage by that secondary of the Colts. Dave Cadigan will get called for being downfield too far by the time Ken O'Brien unleashed the ball. But, hey, Bruce Costler's bunch was covered and covered well by that Colts secondary and linebacker group.
Back-to-back penalties against the Jets, Dave Cadigan. Total yards?
We have an illegal receiver downfield on a pass. It will be a 10-yard penalty. First down.
Jets had penetrated to the 14 of the Colts, but now they're in reverse.
What that illegal receiver business means was that an ineligible receiver, not one of the ends, was downfield, and that was Dave Cadigan, 66 of the Jets. Coach Venturi's got to feel pretty good about his team's effort, huh?
Absolutely. That's what he said they needed. The same kind of effort they put forth against Miami a week ago, although it was a losing cause, and they played hard, is paying off this week with a 28-21 lead. O'Brien looks for the end zone, dodges one man, throws it short to Thomas. Thomas being chased by Herrod is bumped out of bounds, and a penalty marker goes down. That'll be against the Colts. Look at O'Brien in there trying to mix it up.
Well, I don't know that he's trying to mix it up too much, Tom, but he wants to be heard. He's giving Eric Ball, his peace of mind. Eric Ball, not known certainly as a dirty ball player. I think he was just a little over-enthusiastic and delivered the lick when Thomas was out of bounds.
We have unnecessary roughness. Number 31 on the defense. Half the distance to the goal line. First down.
Let's listen to that last hit. Shot cost Michael Ball. That wasn't a very smart play by the 4-year veteran out of Southern. 4th-round draft choice. Put the Jets in pretty good place as the end of the 3rd quarter comes to an end. At the end of 3, the Colts are in front. We'll be back after a word from your local station. Ready to start the 4th quarter at Giant Stadium with the Colts clinging to a 28-21 lead over the Jets. But New York threatening with a 1st and goal at the Indianapolis 7. Thomas to the 5-yard line. Herrod and Radisic in the center of the Colt defense. Stopping the Jet running back as we check the stats after 3 quarters.
Well, the yards rushing for the Colts haven't picked up, but their point productivity certainly has. And that one turnover you see there that was caused on the kickoff return by the Colts, recovered by the Colts, converted into another touchdown. So they've made the best of their opportunities, certainly from the 2nd quarter on.
2nd and goal, the ball spotted at the 5. Play action pass for the corner of the end zone on the fade, and nothing there. Burkett, the intended receiver, covered by Chris Good.
Well, Burkett goes 6'4", Chris Good goes 6 foot, and the Jets figure that Burkett will be able to get up there and get over Chris Good. But Chris Good is in excellent position this time. You see, he sees the play all the way, and just did not allow Burkett to get in position to make that catch.
It'll be 3rd and goal from the Colt 5-yard line. Indianapolis in front, bidding for their first win of the season. 28-21. 4 wide receivers in the game for the Jets. To the other side. No good. Burkett tried the left side, threw his outstretched arms, and incomplete. Eugene Daniel was covering Burkett, so O'Brien now must leave the field, and Leahy on to attempt the field goal. Remember, he's missed from 44 and from 22. This one would figure to be a chip shot. Should be about 24 yards. That's going to be 22, so he missed from this distance earlier at this same end of the field. This one, though, is true off the foot of Pat Leahy, who moves into sole possession of 3rd place on the NFL's all-time scoring list as the Jets draw closer to the Colts. Dog. Indianapolis Colts leading the New York Jets 28-24. The Colts having one of their best games of the season, obviously, because they haven't won a game. And, Joe, maybe it's coincidence, but maybe it's not, that Eric Dickerson is not here today.
Well, it could be this team has come out here inspired with a new attitude, a fresh attitude, and they're playing like it.
Sammy Martin with a pretty good return for the Colts. The ball comes loose. And I think they're going to rule it Jet ball, Jet football. Frankly, I thought he was down before the ball came loose, but it's ruled New York football.
John Gavin looks like he came up with the ball, number 52. We have an injured Colt on the field right now also. Could be Sammy Martin, number 86, that ends up fumbling this ball. Let's take a look and see if he was down before the ball came loose. That's going to be close. I'd like to look at it, maybe see that again, but the ball came loose. There's some question whether his knee hit the ground ahead of time. But Troy Johnson for the Jets, number 95, still makes the first contact to shake that ball loose, along with Eric McMillan, 22.
Difficult to tell if his knee touched before the ball came loose.
Well, it's been ruled Jet ball, so it would have to be conclusive. That ball looks like it's loose right now, and it looks like it's going to stand as a Sammy Martin fumble and a Jet recovery.
Martin was the injured player. There he is leaving the field.
Kickoff, a fumble, and a recovery by the defensive team.
Thanks a lot.
Tom Kelleher is the replay official here today, and he's taking a look at it as we speak. And the cheer, you couldn't hear Tom Dooley, but the cheer is that the play stands as called. It's New York football. So New York in business after the fumbled kickoff with a first down at the Colts 34-yard line. Baxter, gain of 3. Donnell Thompson, Chip Banks combine on the hit of Baxter.
I'm a little surprised that Baxter was able to pick up 3 yards that time. Donnell Thompson, the defensive end, did a nice job of fighting off the block and making early contact, but Baxter kept fighting forward to at least pick up the 3. There's big Donnell Thompson, 99.
Likes to play Monopoly. We asked him what made a good Monopoly player, and he winked and said strategy. O'Brien, play action pass, being chased, gets rid of it, complete to Dressel. Dressel ducked one man, and after hurtling forward, he's close to the first down. Radisick and Donnell Thompson finally catching up with Chris Dressel.
I'll tell you, it's a nice run by Dressel and a very nice play by Ken O'Brien. Watch Ken O'Brien just get the ball rid of before Chip Banks gets there. Now Dressel, a high step over this defender and make the first down or get very close to it. Nice bit of running by the nifty Dressel, huh?
Yeah, all 240 pounds. First down at the 23 for the Jets. Baxter cuts it back close to the 20-yard line. Dwayne Bickett on the tackle as we take a look at our ITT 10-minute ticker. A lot of those teams in front had slow starts before gaining the lead, but Cleveland has had a big day against the Eagles, and Cincinnati's been in front all the way.
You know, those Eagles won't quit, though. They're still only a touchdown down, and they're fighting back.
Here it's 28-24 Indy, but the Jets threatening. Baxter gets his second consecutive call and is inside the 20 of the Colts, where Sam Clancy's at the bottom of the stack. Remember, the Jets playing without their talented wide receiver, Rob Moore, their number 2 receiver on the year. He was injured in the first quarter, banged up his knee. Well, the fourth quarter has been in favor of the Jets just barely.
3rd and 6. That's the Colts, 19.
And Rick Venturi trying to scratch out his first win as an NFL head coach. Big play, 3rd and 5, double wides to either side. Mathis in motion. Quick toss to Dressel. Upended inside the 15 to the 14, close to the first down. McLuhan on the tackle. It may be a bit short. It'll be 4th down for the Jets. Decision time.
I'd kick it. I tell you, I'm surprised. I mean, there's a lot of time left, but the Jets are going to go for it. I'd have to kick this one myself, but I'm sure the fans here and those at home of the Jets are happy to see Coslet decide to go for it on 4th down. I'm a bit surprised.
Well, they've been successful 80% of the time. 4th down and a yard. Ball at the 14 of the Colts. It's going to be close. Baxter, did he get there?
Going to depend on where they spot it.
Unpile the bodies, and Tom Dooley will take a long look. He may call the chains over. Trying to clear out some space there. They're going to measure. Crucial measurement here. The Colts leading 28-24. 10-19 left in the 4th. Chain stretches out, and it is 1st down.
The second effort getting in here by Baxter. You see him get hit now. Now he's fighting forward. You see just that extra little fight forward. Got that 1st down only by inches.
So the Jets still alive as they make a 4th down play for the 9th time in 11 tries this season. Play clock down to 8 seconds. Baxter again. Thrown back to the Colt defense, who had 8 players around the football. Saragusa at the bottom of the stack, and Banks was there too.
Well, it's a chess game now between Rick Venturi, the defensive, well, not coordinator anymore. I guess he still is, but now the head coach. Rick Venturi calling plays against Coslet's chess moves here, you might say. Coslet's calling the offensive plays, so we'll see if Venturi's expecting a run. There's Donnell Thompson injured on the sideline.
Key to that defense, not in there, injured at the moment. Hector got inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line. Agee and Harrod on the tackle, and maybe they missed Donnell Thompson up front. The Jets attacking on the ground.
They went just at the area that Donnell Thompson would have been defending that time, so they're attacking that area, which is a smart move by the Jets. There you see Donnell Thompson in some pain on the sidelines. It appears to be his elbow that's injured.
3rd down for the New York Jets. The ball spotted at the Colts 8. It's 3rd and 5. O'Brien tosses incomplete. Good defense that time. Burkett, the intended receiver, but Chris Good in there to bat it away.
Boy, Chris Good came right around the top of Burkett, right in the middle of your screen to get that left hand. Get one of his hands. Yes, his left hand up there. That was close. That right hand was around Burkett a bit, but it's a nice play by Chris Good.
And so on 4th down, the Jets this time will go for the field goal. 4th down and 5. They'll bring Leahy on to attempt a 25-yarder. Leahy with a field goal makes it a 1-point game. This one was close. Leahy nipping the upright, but getting it through. 1 point. Here late in the game, the Jets have seen a drive stall deep in Colt territory, and Coslett not happy as that kick just nipped through the upright. And that's Dean Biasucci that has the blue booties on there. Well, what would you expect from a Shakespearean actor?
Hey, I have never seen those kind of things before. That's pretty slick, keeping those little toes nice and warm as toast so he can boot that ball. They're pretty, too. The Colt blue.
Leahy with a short kick. By the way, Martin is back on the field. This one bounces to Verdun, and he's immediately scored over. Eric McMillan downfield first. And the Colts will take over deep in their own territory, right around their 15. Well, here's our second sports facts question of the day. What's the record for fewest points in a season? I guess the Colts were threatening that before this outburst today.
They certainly were threatening the modern-day record. There's a record that goes back to the 30s that some of you old football buffs may remember.
You spent all week digging these out, did you?
Oh, I had a lot of help, you know. We had a lot of friends on our production staff.
Jenny Kincaid and Carol Larson combining on the sports facts. There's a penalty flag down. Looked like one of the Colt linemen pulled to lead the blocking too soon. Randy Dixon, maybe.
Before the snap, we have false start, left guard offense, first down.
Left guard is Randy Dixon.
The proud new papa of a week, I believe. His wife had a child a week ago. Congratulations, Randy. You've got to start remembering the snap count.
Just came off the injured reserve list last week with a calf injury. They were glad to have him back in that offensive line. So it's 1st and 15 for Jeff George, who's hit 14 of 23 through the air today. 3 touchdowns and 1 interception.
Will the clock operator please reset the clock to 8:16.
That's 1 second difference. Every second counts, Joe.
Will the clock operator please reset the clock, the game clock, to 8:16.
I think everyone has heard this request except the clock operator at this point. There you go.
Well, we've said that the Colts having their best outing of the season. This one will test them. They have a 1st and 15 from their own 14-yard line. We'll see what they're made of now. George stands tall and hits his man. Jeff George with another tough completion to Brooks with Mike Brim all over him. Well, here's the answer to our sports facts question. The record for fewest points in a season.
New England recently, and of course Cincinnati, St. Louis back in 34. They just averaged over 3 points a game. I wonder who was quarterbacking. More importantly, I wonder who the offensive line was. They didn't do much blocking.
That one went for 14 yards, so it's 2nd and 1, and the toss is to Clark. Cuts up behind Manoa, and I don't think he made it. Joe Kelly is able to stack it up, and then Brim put on the finishing touch. It's close to the first down. They're going to measure. 7:20 left in the football game. The Colts bidding for their first win of the season, and it would be a costly blow to the Jets' wild card hopes. Coslett told us yesterday it's in the second half of the season when the playoffs are made. You've got to win late in the season, and they were 1-0 in the second half and facing a winless team today. First down, Indianapolis. Well, they were backed up to their own 14, had it 1st and 15, and the Colts are able to get the first down and keep the football.
Well, Jeff George is really showing out today. Even on the last completion, Jeff George stood in there until the last instant to wait for Brooks to get open. Then he delivered the ball right on target. This is by far Jeff George's best game, possibly of his career, Tom. I don't remember a better game for the young quarterback.
His statistics have looked better at times, but in the all-round game, the leadership leadership and the way he's standing in there and sometimes scrambling, it has been a tremendous performance. Clark behind Manoa. Found a seam in the defense and is tripped up short of the 35 by Kyle Clifton. Stay tuned to NBC now for the second half of our doubleheader. A big AFC West game at Mile High Stadium. Jay Schrader had a big lead at Kansas City in an earlier crucial AFC West game and lost it, trying to redeem himself as he takes on the Broncos at a very tough place to play, Mile High Stadium.
Yeah, and John Elway's having a good year. John is one of the best there is, and he's performing that way this season. Hey, you think it's a little damp and cold
look at that shiver. See that leg going there?
Yes.
But it's going to be even colder if the Jets are unable to pull out the victory here against the winless Colts. Clark once again, and once again a good run. He's close to the first down marker. Again, dragged down by Eric McMillan.
Ken Clark has that quickness, that good vision to see the hole and break toward the opening. He said it was a little tough on him this week, going back and forth from H-back position to running back and having to learn the new plays. And the absence of Anthony Johnson, he said, was really the big factor that made him make the shift, because Johnson did so many things well in receiving, blocking, and running. That's what young Clark has to do today.
Well, that's very close, but just inches short. So it will be a third down and inches for Venturi's Colts. Pete Carroll in charge of the Jet defense. You know, Clark told us yesterday he was happy for the opportunity, but hated to get it this way with Johnson being injured and Dickerson suspended. But he does have some talent. He's only 5'9", and he says that really helps him block a lot of times and running too, because he has that low center of gravity and is able to hide behind those big defensive linemen. That was a good shot right there. Just how small he is compared to those other guys. 5'9", but he weighs 204 pounds. Third and inches from the Colt 38. They lead by 1. He'll have enough. Paul Fraze tackled Clark, but he was able to fall forward and get the first down by about half a yard.
Oh, yes, there was good penetration by the front of the Jets, but Clark found a little crease and just fought forward to make this first down by about a half a yard. Look at the penetration by the green jerseys there, but there's a little crack, and Clark sees it and gets through. Got a favorable spot on that ball, too, I might add.
He did. He really did.
Hip hit the ground and where he reached out.
Jets need a stop. They need to get the football back. Less than 5 minutes remaining. The Colts lead 28-27. First down, Indianapolis from their own 40. Clark again. With super effort, he gets a yard. Kyle Clifton hit him behind the line. Clark was still able to eke out a yard. Clock ticks away. Indianapolis with a full complement of timeouts. The Jets down to only 2. Important game for the Jets, Joe. They have some tough games remaining. They must go to Buffalo. They play at New England, the rejuvenated Patriots, next week, and needed this victory to keep those playoff hopes in good shape. George, bullet to Brooks. And it's a Colt first down. Man, George has been on target today, and he is smoking the football.
Well, George gets set and just waits until Brooks on the right side of the
32 mark, as they had to spend a timeout. Now only 1 remaining. And the Colts have a first down at the 46. They couldn't have been a timeout that they wanted to take, the Jets. And Clark back to the line of scrimmage. James Hasty on the tackle. Clock continues to roll as the Colts, believe it or not, try to play ball control, probably for the first time this season.
And the Jets and their fans know they need this game to keep realistic playoff hopes alive.
Jets have just spent their final timeout. Does that surprise you, Joe, that they used the timeouts so soon?
Well, it does surprise me a bit. You'd like to save those timeouts until the end, but Coslet feels that they're going to run that clock down, so this is the best time for his commercial. Now, commercial, we're going to be back, folks, right after this word.
Continues to whip around Giant Stadium, and it's going to be even colder for the Jet fans that turned out today. 44,792 of them. 32,000, quote, Jet fans elected to stay home in this kind of weather. Draw play to Clark. Boy, Ken Clark has gained a second win. He's done his best running here late in the football game, and the offensive line starting to open up a few holes. You can tell that they have a little shade of continuity here for the first time this season, being together for 2 consecutive games now. And it's going to be 3rd down and about 3 for the Colts.
You know, those no-shows are at home watching this game, and there's one guy I want to say hi to that's been with the Jets since 1960. Dr. Jim Nicholas is in Lenox Hill Hospital, and we know he's recovering from a minor operation. Dr. Nicholas, I know you're on the edge of your bed right now, buddy. It's a tight one, and the Jets need it.
3rd down play. George will go to the air. Intercepted. Graham picks it off. Brooks wrestles him down, and the Jets have the ball on the turnover. Bad decision by Jeff George, who had been playing so well. And Brim picks it off, and the Jets are alive.
And Brim has been the cornerback that's been victimized on a couple of those quick passes. He's been beaten a few times. He's been tested once too often by the young quarterback, as Brim is in excellent position right here to make the interception of the slightly underthrown pass.
Well, the good performance by George may come to naught for this poor decision, poor pass, and Brim interception. Now the Jets, are they a championship team? This will test them, Joe.
It's going to test Pat Leahy, too, if they get into field goal position, because Pat Leahy's misfired on 2 and barely got the last field goal through the uprights.
Ken O'Brien's hit 21 of 31. He'll go to work here. Buying time, throws it incomplete. Off the 5-pad, it appeared, of Altoon, who was covered by a linebacker, Scott Radisson.
Can't say enough about that Colt defense being able to stick with those receivers of O'Brien's for so long. I mean, O'Brien had plenty of time to find a receiver, yet they were all covered. Now, the lack of timeouts, the Jets are out of them, may severely affect this drive for Ken O'Brien.
2:34 remaining. 2nd and 10 Jets. They trail the Colts 28-27. They have the ball at their own 42-yard line. The Colts, Donnell Thompson, the 11-year veteran, with a big sack of Ken O'Brien all the way back to the 30-yard line.
Donnell Thompson beat his blocker. I believe it was Dwayne White. Right in the middle of the screen. Sure, that's it. He just fights through Dwayne Wright and makes the tackle.
11-yard loss. 3rd down play. O'Brien intended for Dawkins, but the pass came up short. And O'Brien hears the boos ring in his ears.
Well, this is critical. With no timeouts left, the Jets can't afford to punt the ball. O'Brien just underthrows this ball, maybe expected his receiver to break a little shorter, but there was nothing there. I mean, this is the most critical 4th down play of the season for the Jets.
Remember, they've connected 9 of 11 4th downs this season. It's 4th and 27. Thomas can't handle it, and the Colts will take over. It would have been well short of the 1st down anyway, as O'Brien had to scramble. He needed 27 yards, and he couldn't get the completion or the 1st down. And the Indianapolis Colts, bidding for their first win of the season, are separated now by only 2 minutes and 2 seconds, and the Jets out of timeouts.
The Colts, having won 7 of the last 9 outings against these Jets, seem to have the Jets' number. And right now, all Coach Venturi's team needs to do is not turn the ball over. There's just 2 minutes and 2 seconds left, and Bruce Costlet's team's out of timeouts.
This play will take us to the 2-minute warning.
Not taking any chances, Tom.
And George just downs the football. The clock ticks away. It should have stopped. We'll get the 2-minute warning now with the Colts clinging to a 1-point lead. 2 yards, a big difference in the game as the Jets trailing by 1 point. 2 minutes left in the game. And the Colts with the football and the Jets out of timeouts.
Well, I think that number 11 in the white uniform is really the big difference. I know Leahy's field goal is going to measure big, but I haven't seen Jeff George play this well in his pro career.
Well, let's take a look now at our Canon camcorder replay of the game. This was the opening kickoff of the second half. Clarence Verdun takes the kick and whistles 88 yards for a touchdown. That gave the Colts some confidence. It tied the score at 14. And Indianapolis looked like a different club in the second half here today. In fact, the long touchdown pass to Jesse Hester helped ignite him too before the half was over. Verdun played a big part in what would appear to be the Colts' first win of the season.
I find this interesting. The Colts haven't been in this position. You know, the first down, George just took a knee. This last down, they hand the ball off. Now George is going to take a knee again. They don't want to take a chance on risking a handoff and turning the ball over.
Well, the employee owners of Avis salute the game's most valuable player, the Colts' Jeff George, as the winner of the We Try Harder Award. Avis, the official car rental company of the NFL. There are the numbers on Jeff George. He's had better numbers, but this might be his best performance as a pro.
I mean, he has the athletic ability to throw that ball better than most folks, but the determination and the guts that he showed today, hanging in there after taking a beating, getting up off the ground to continue to lead his team, has lifted this. I almost said Baltimore Colts, but folks in Indianapolis don't get on me, but it has lifted these Baltimore Colts to a level they haven't felt yet.
You did say it.
I did say it, didn't I?
But your memories go back to that great Super Bowl win, the Jets over the then Baltimore Colts, the one you predicted.
And this may be the beginning of a new era for the Colts, huh?
Well, let's don't get too carried away.
Well,
it's fourth down, by the way, and the Colts have just taken a delay of game penalty. 24 seconds left, and will they punt it here? It looks like Stark will punt. So the Jets will get one last gasp prize. Stark punts it. Mathis calls for a fair catch at the 15. 20 seconds left, and remember, the Jets have no timeouts. They are 85 yards away. They only need a field goal, however, to take the lead.
Without any timeouts, though, it's near impossible, because when O'Brien completes the pass over the middle, they're not going to stop the clock as they do in college on first down. That clock's going to keep ticking. So the Jets are going to have to find a way to get the ball out of bounds.
Four wide receivers. Over the middle to two. Gressel, did he get out of bounds? Yes. Stopped the clock at 13 seconds. Chris Good had a hold, a strong hold on Altoon. That one went for about 9.5 yards. Those seconds much more valuable than that. You can't afford any 9-yard completions.
Well, that's the ball game. They're not going to be able to get it off.
And the time will run out. The Indianapolis Colts have won for the first time this season. Rick Venturi's first win as an NFL head coach. You don't think he's enjoying this moment? It deals the Jets' playoff hopes a blow, but the celebration is on. Jeff George can shave. The Colts have won.